Hey everyone, and welcome to TechAbility Pirates of the Caribbean Week 2 Deep Dive class. So what we're doing today is we're going to create a spinning sprite that can block our ball or knock it all around when we try to shoot, and it acts like another obstacle in its way, or like another wall piece. So what we want to do to start off is go down to the bottom right hand corner of our screen and hover our mouse over that cat head with the plus sign. And when you do, it'll say choose a sprite and a toolbar will appear. And on that toolbar, I want you to click on the paintbrush. This will create a new sprite called Sprite 1. And right below the game screen where it says Sprite and Sprite 1 will be inside this bubble that we can edit. And we want to call it Spin, S-P-I-N. And then I'll press enter to save my changes. And now my empty object is called Spin. It also took me to my costumes tab, so I'm already on my blank canvas. And what I want to do is click on the rectangle tool right here. And the shape has to be the exact same color as the wall pieces on our levels. So the best way to do this is by going to the right hand side and clicking on your stage. And then go to the left hand side and click on the select tool. That's the one that looks like your little mouse cursor. And then click on the obstacle pieces. And then for me, mine are red, so that's like what my ball bounces off of. And then I'm going to go back to my spin sprite down at the bottom right hand corner, and I'm going to click on it. And you'll notice that the fill color is set to my color that I had for my wall pieces. So what I'm going to do is click on that little square icon on the left hand corner. It says rectangle when you hover your mouse over it. And I'm going to create a little rectangle piece like this. I'm going to pull it to the center of my screen and make sure it's centered. You'll see that my object has this little blue plus, but the center of the screen has this little black plus. And I just want to make sure that they snap together and they overlap. Once they do, I'm going to go ahead and click on my select tool. And then I'm going to click copy, paste. And I'm going to rotate this object 90 degrees. So that means that I'm just rotating it like this to its side. And then I'm going to make sure it is also centered. Like this. So it kind of looks like a cross. And the idea is that when the ball hits it, it's going to kind of like get caught in there and like spin it and throw it around, which would be kind of cool. But it needs to be centered or it won't work. So again, make sure that your object is centered. When you guys are ready, you're going to go to the left-hand side and click on Code. And then we're going to go to Events. That's that yellow color. And at the top, we're going to grab When Green Flag Clicked and drag it and drop it into the white space. After that, we're going to go to Looks. That's the purple color. And we're going to grab Hide and attach it to our code. Then we're going to go to Control and grab Forever and attach it to Hide. After that, we want to go to Motion, and we're going to grab Turn Right 15 degrees, change that to 5. Then we're going to go ahead and go to Control, and grab If Then, and put it inside Forever, but underneath that Turn Right 5 degrees. Then what we're going to go ahead and do is go to Operators, and grab blank equals 50, and put it inside the blank spot for If Then. Change 50 to 0. Go to levels or variables and grab the level variable and put it inside the blank bubble. Then we're going to go to looks and grab show and put it inside the if then. And then lastly, we're going to go to motion and grab go to X and Y and put it right underneath show. So this is what it looks like right here. Now this X and Y, I say put it to 0, 0, but it really depends on where you want it to be. So this X and Y is where your spin object is going to spawn. So let me play my start game. And when I go to start my game, you'll see that my object is now in the center of my screen. But when I also shoot my ball at it, you'll see that my object, or my spinning object now like hits my ball everywhere. So it makes it really cool. So again, you guys just move around the X and Y in your guys' code right here, so that way it will move the object around the scene. So if I do -50 and -50, and then I press the green flag, you'll see that it now moved to a different spot. So go ahead and mess around with that number and see where you guys can go ahead and get that to spawn. And then what you guys want to do when you guys are done with that is you're going to go to events and grab when I receive next level, and then go to looks and grab hide and attach it to there. So this is all the code you will need for spin, and you will also want to move around that X and Y like I said for the level 1. Make sure you guys go ahead and pause the video here before going on to the next step. Once you guys are done with your spin sprite, what we're going to go ahead and do is create another sprite. So we're going to hover our mouse over that cat head with the plus sign at the bottom right hand corner. And when you do, it'll say choose a sprite and a toolbar will appear. And on that toolbar, I want you to click on the paintbrush. This will create a new sprite called Sprite 1. And we're going to go ahead and rename it and call it Shrink. Then what I want you guys to do is, if your color is not already set to the color for your obstacles, go ahead and click on Fill, and at the bottom you'll see this little eyedropper, and if you click on that, hover your mouse over the play window and click on your X. Then what you guys are going to go ahead and do is, once that color is set to your obstacle color, click on the square, go ahead and create a square, and then move it to the center of the screen, like so. So that way it's centered. You remember how the two crosses should overlap. And then once you guys have done that, you guys are going to go ahead and click on the code tab on the top left hand corner. And what we want to do is start off by going to events and grabbing when green flag clicked. Then we're going to go to looks and grab hide and attach it to the bottom of the code. After that, we're going to go to events and grab broadcast. It's going to say next level. I'm going to click on next level and click new message and type shrink. Shrink is spelled S-H-R-I-N-K. After that, I'm going to go to control and grab forever and attach it to the bottom of my code. Then I'm going to grab if then and put it inside forever. After that, we're going to go to operators and grab blank equals 50 and put it inside the if then bubble and change the number 50 to the number 1. Then what we're going to go ahead and do is go to variables and go to grab level and change it to the bubble right here, or drag it, drop it inside that bubble. Then we're going to go to looks and we're going to grab show and put it inside the if then bracket. And then lastly, we're going to go to motion and grab, where is it? Oh, X. Go to X and Y, and then you guys can again change these numbers, and that'll decide where it's going to be placed. Now if you guys want to make it so that way this is going to spawn on a different level, go ahead and change it to a different number. So I'm going to want this to spawn on my level 2. So I'm going to change this to level 2 for me. But if you guys want to change it on a different level, go ahead and change that number to be different if you want to. Once you guys have this code, you guys are going to go ahead and scroll down just a little bit so we can give ourselves some room. And we're going to go to events on the left hand side and grab when I receive next level and drag it and drop it into the scene. Then we're going to go to looks and grab hide and attach it to the bottom of the code, and that'll be the end of that block of code. So that's the end of the second block of code. After you have that, we're going to scroll over and grab another block of code by going to events and grabbing when I receive next level and drag it and drop it into the scene. Then click on the word next level and click on shrink. So it'll read when I receive shrink. Then we want to go to control and grab forever and attach it to the bottom of our code. Then we're going to grab 2 of these wait 1 seconds and place them both inside forever and change both the number to 4. Then we're going to go to looks and we're going to grab set size to 100% and place it underneath both of these wait 4 seconds. And we're going to change one of them, which is the top one, to 150% and the bottom one to 50%. And then I'm going to go ahead and zoom out for you guys. And this is all the code that you guys are going to go ahead and need for that shrink sprite. So again, make sure you guys go ahead and pause video here. Make sure you guys have all this code before going on to the next step. And also this blue go to X and these two numbers. Mess around with these two numbers and see what happens on that level that you guys had set it to. And this will change where this shrink object is going to be. Once you guys are done with the shrink sprite, what we're going to go ahead and do is create another sprite. So we're going to go down to the bottom right hand corner and hover our mouse over that cat head with the plus sign. And when you do, it'll say choose a sprite and a toolbar will appear. And on that toolbar, I want you guys to go ahead and click on that paintbrush. This will create a new blank sprite called Sprite 1. We're going to go ahead and rename it and call it Move. And once you guys named it Move, what we want to do is make sure our color is still set to our obstacle color. So again, mine should be set to red. And I'm just going to click on my square tool, and I'm going to go ahead and create an object and make sure it's centered in the center of my screen. Again, that's just me dragging it and making sure that the blue cross and the black cross line up perfectly, and they should snap together when they get near each other. And I'm just going to let go, and that's how I know it's in the center of the screen. So if it's bothering you that you might see these objects on the screen, you guys can always click on this little minus, like slash on this eyeball on spin, shrink, and move, so that way they're not showing up in your game screen. That's just a little tip for you guys, because we have it in the code that they will reappear. Then once you guys are done with your object, we're going to go to the Code tab at the top left. And under the Code tab, we want to start off by going to Events and grabbing when green flag clicked, and we're going to drag that and drop it into our scene. Then we're going to go to Looks and scroll down until we find Hide and grab that and attach it to when green flag clicked. Then we're going to go back to Events and grab Broadcast Next Level and attach it underneath Hide, and click on Next Level and click New Message and type Move, and then press OK. Then we're going to go to Control and grab Forever and attach it to the bottom of Move. While still inside Control, we want to grab If Then and put it inside Forever. Then we're going to go to Operators and grab the blank equals 50 and put it inside the first one. And instead of 50, you guys can change that to level 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm going to change mine to level 3 since I already have spin on level 1, shrink on level 2, and now have move on level 3. And then I'm going to go to Variables and grab the level bubble and put it right here. Then I'm going to go to Looks and I'm going to grab Show and attach it to the inside of If Then. Then what we want to go ahead and do is go to Motion. And under Motion, we're going to grab Go to X and Y, and we're going to place that right underneath Show. And then here's another tip for you guys. So if you guys hover your mouse over this word if on that if then block of code, and you right click and you click duplicate, and then just attach that to the bottom of the code inside Forever, and you can change this one to level 4. So that way you can have 2 of these spawning on 2 different levels. So if you guys don't have this code, make sure you guys go ahead and pause the video here before we go on to the next one. Then what we're going to go ahead and do is go to Events and grab When I Receive Next Level. Then we're going to go to Looks and grab Hide and attach it to When I Receive Next Level. And that's the end of the second block of code. Then what we're going to do is go to Events and grab When I Receive Next Level and drag it into the white space. Click on Next Level and make it say Move. Then we're going to go to Control and grab Forever and attach it to the bottom. After that, what we want to do is go to Motion and we're going to grab Glide. It'll say Glide Seconds to SECS to, and it's an XY position. We're going to grab 2 of these and put them inside Forever. Then we're going to go to Control and grab Wait 1 second and drag it and drop it in between them. And instead of 1, we're going to change it to 9 for each of them. And then this one we're going to change it to -197. And then in this Y, we're going to go ahead and change that to minus 36. And then in this X right here on the second one, we're going to change it to 203. And then in the Y, we're going to change it to minus 36. And then once you guys have all this code here, you guys are done with the move sprite. Now again, you can change this blue, go to X and Y right here, block of code on that first block that we created for level 3 and 4. You can change those to move the position of where it spawns to begin with. So you guys can go ahead and mess around with that. But after you guys do that, that is it for this video. Make sure you guys test out your guys' game. And as always, have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.